Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as was the vast majority of crypto and finance. And with that being said, I hope that you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. Guys, we are almost there now. The XRP Ledger clawback amendment flag got set. The ledger set the ETA for activation now. It's all coming together, folks. And this is from vet_x0. He is a validator for the XRP ledger. And as you guys do see, the consensus over 82.86%. The ETA is February 8th. We don't know if it's going to go live that day. It is an ETA. But guys, it got passed. The clawback. Now, why is this significant? Well, everyone has been talking about institutional adoption of the XRP ledger for a while, right? Now, does everyone know about Franklin Templeton with Stellar? If you don't know, Franklin Templeton is tokenizing the first US money market fund through Stellar. Now, why did they pick Stellar? Why did they choose Stellar? Well, here's a video going all the way back to May 8th, and I feel as though not a lot of people caught on to this. Listen closely to what we hear in this interview. This is from Jenny Johnson from Franklin Templeton, and we do see Franklin Templeton's decision to use the Stellar blockchain wasn't made lightly. Listen closely to this.
Well, it's so funny because I remember, I think it was in November of 2019, there was a filing that you guys had made that was picked up by, and it was the first mention of using the Stellar blockchain. And I was like, this is exactly the way that you want open technology to work. You guys looked at this, made your decisions about what you were going to do. No one had to force you. Like, no one went out and said, hey, we're going to pay you lots of money to do this. You guys figured it out. We were thrilled to see that, because that's exactly what we want to see happen all over the world. And what we do see happen, not at this scale necessarily, but small individual developers in other parts of the world can grab the technology and do it. But once we did, we were like, hey, we should be talking to them. And so we started the conversations, and it's just been so nice to watch the journey.
Yeah.
And to watch that, you guys did very methodically approach this.
Yeah.
And so what are the benefits that you see for?
Well, I mean, of course, at the time we were, trying to figure out which platform to use. And, I think we ended up with Stellar because of really the capabilities that you guys have that were so important for the regulatory environment, right? I mean, so this concept of being able to, claw back a transaction, right? That's important. We're required to do that. If there's something that happens, you got to be able to fix some of those things.
And did you guys hear that? Let me go back. Let me slow it down real quick, just so everyone can hear what she just said.
Abilities that you guys have that were so important for the regulatory environment, right? I mean, so this concept of being able to, claw back a transaction, right? That's important. We're required to do that. If there's something that happens, you got to be able to fix some of those things. And have this control environment in which we're responsible for. And, the Stellar chain allowed us to do some of those things. And then also, you guys Stellar's amazing with how cheap your gas fees are. I mean, yeah, there's nobody else that comes near that. And, that's important to us and important to our clients. So it's really been I think a terrific journey together.
And now you understand why the clawback feature is actually very, very bullish. Having this incorporated into the XRP ledger and having the opportunity to tap into this is going to be a welcome mat for a lot of these big institutions, like, for an example, Franklin Templeton, because that is a crucial thing that they need in place because it is a regulatory requirement. But also, remember what she just said, the speed and the low transaction cost on Stellar. Well, guess what? The XRP ledger is right there with it. So now, once we do see the clawback feature added, and once we possibly see the AMM added, imagine the flood that's going to come to the XRP ledger. Now, I do believe that a lot of people are getting caught up in the idea of the AMM being a massive price appreciation event. It is not. Don't get your hopes up on any major price increase from the AMM. I do think that there will be speculation. I think that there will be a little bit of some buying pressure, but I'm not expecting this to change the price immediately. Over time, yeah, I do think that it could create a ton of demand for XRP, and I think that it could ultimately allow XRP to move in value. Right now, we have 23 yays. Now, you might be saying, Nick, we're 5 away, right? Because we need 28. But technically speaking, with the consensus, we need 6 more votes for yays, but we are getting close. I think just my video from yesterday, I think we're at 22. So this is moving along pretty quickly, and I do believe that if we continue on the way that we have been witnessing this, within the next 2 months or possibly even 3 months, we could see the AMM go live on the XRP ledger. Now, why is this significant, right? We've already talked about it multiple times. What's it really going to bring besides the passive income that everyone is waiting on? Well, first and foremost, big shout out to Anderson, because he put this into perspective in the same exact way that I'm anticipating the AMM for the XRP ledger really kind of being innovative, if you will. The thing with AMM for the XRP ledger is that it won't just benefit retail users. No, it won't, right? Like every retail user, every XRP holder is just waiting for this to make passive income. And I think that they're going into this with the wrong idea, because there is still the opportunity that you could lose your XRP. Remember that, right? The more the network is used, the more liquid it becomes and the more liquidity it attracts. Having enough liquidity is crucial for utility, especially since the decentralized exchange will be integrated with on-demand liquidity. So it will literally benefit everyone. Having enough liquidity for on-demand liquidity is a chicken and egg problem. The AMM might be the missing piece to get the ball rolling much faster and make it possible to have larger and larger on-demand liquidity transfers. Plus, Schwartz called it the secret sauce. Maybe he's right. What's missing, as I keep repeating, is a strong financial incentive to use the network. The AMM will fix this, not a small feat. Now, yes, in terms of liquidity, let me just break this down real quick for you guys, right? Because I talked about it a little bit with Hedera. If you go over to Saucer Swap, which is the DeFi player on Hedera, go look at the liquidity pools. I think that there's almost $80 million in the liquidity pools for Hedera. Now, you might be saying, Nick, that's nothing. It is, right? But for a top 35, or I think it might be a little bit above 35, $80 million is pretty damn significant. Now, imagine the XRP ledger and imagine how much liquidity could be in those liquidity pools. This is what gets me very excited about the AMM for the XRP ledger. Remember, there's going to be a lot of liquidity pools around XRP and Solo, XRP and Corium. Any major ecosystem player is going to be able to have a liquidity pool, which is going to also benefit that token as well. So the entire ecosystem actually wins here. But beyond that, yeah, we do look at on-demand liquidity. Remember, on-demand liquidity, we need a lot more liquidity. We need XRP to be the most liquid asset in the space and even outside of the space, in order for it to really grasp a large portion of those much larger transfers. And we're talking about, billions of dollars to possibly even trillions of dollars. But again, that's not going to happen overnight. We're not going to get to $1 trillion in the next year or 2 or 3. It's going to take time. But this is the starting point. This is what everyone should be getting excited about, because these are technicals, right? These are things that need to be implemented in order for all of the puzzle pieces to be put in place. Now, outside of this, we also got a little bit of a video. It got deleted. Just to summarize things, there has been a lot of negativity, a lot of mixed emotions around the AMM. A lot of people think that everyone's going to get euphoric about this. They're going to think that XRP is going to moon, and it's not going to. A lot of people are going to lose their XRP. It's a night and day thing, right? You have the one side that's saying AMM is going to be massive, and then you have the other side that's going and saying AMM is going to allow people to lose a ton of XRP, and it's going to turn a negative sentiment pretty quickly, and then we're going to see XRP crash. Again, we don't know what's going to go on, but I do think that there needs to be a lot more education behind this before anyone does start to lock up their, tokens and things like that. But Mickey B. Fresh did respond in a massive way. There's a lot to this. There's a video of David Schwartz talking about the AMM. I'll just kind of talk a little bit about this and summarize some stuff. So we do see at first, I'm not sure I agree with this. Most of the community is not even aware of the benefits and potential positive impacts and scared of a flawed benchmark that they think is a risk, but it's actually an opportunity cost. And permanent loss is no longer a benchmark we should use. It's flawed by design and totally misses the inherent flaw in AMMs. The AMM pricing is always stale compared to external markets and is too low or too high, allowing arbitrageurs to extract value from the pool. XRP Ledger AMM with continuous auction mechanism address this problem and turn the volatility, which usually results in more extraction of value, into additional profits for LPs, and the band to arbitrage is nearly zero with 4 accounts. That prices synchronize much more rapidly, and this reduces slippage as well. There's no hype for the AMM from the flip the switch crowd because they don't understand it enough. It's going to open the doors for numerous dApps to launch and is only the fundamental heart of the XRP Ledger liquidity provisioning and provides XRP with the one thing it lacks. Now, by the way, how do we know it's going to increase liquidity? Well, it's because we can take it from example with Hedera. Hedera has a ton of liquidity pools on SaucerSwap. In fact, a lot of the ecosystem players like Galaxy, for an example, have a liquidity pool, and it has increased the overall trading volume and liquidity behind those tokens as well. It also does benefit HBAR greatly as well. This is why I'm very excited about the AMM, and it's also something that I'm looking forward to around builders coming to the XRP Ledger as well. Everyone talking about lack of development and developers is totally overlooking what drives all these ecosystems. There needs to be a native network use case for the native token that requires continuous demand for the utility of the network protocol and token utility while locking up supply simultaneously without sacrificing opportunity cost. And this is what I'm talking about, right? Like, this is what's going to drive and incentivize builders and developers on the ecosystem to continue to build and create utility for even XRP as well. But also, there is going to be continuous demand from individuals that do want to create passive income opportunities. Most networks, like Ethereum, have liquid staking and dynamic fee models. Ultimately, it's the ability to earn low risk yield from non-custodial wallet by depositing native asset or issue tokens or stablecoin to receive another token, aka a claim token, LP token, which can then be utilized in all types of different DeFi dApps. There needs to be a base layer of yield and AMM economic model that's far superior to Ethereum staking model because it doesn't extract value from users of the network to reward validators. AMM is operated by the blockchain and provides a service of liquidity for cross-currency payments and trading between a long tail of assets. We need to spread awareness and help people understand why they should be excited. And I completely agree. And that's exactly why I'm trying to get the message along with you guys on the idea that this is going to create a ton of demand for the overall ecosystem. It's not just XRP that benefits here. We're talking about Corium, we're talking about Solo. And again, we don't know, right? But in my opinion, I do believe that a lot of those players are going to have liquidity pools within the AMM, with, of course, XRP being on the other side, where individuals lock up either XRP or lock up Corium or lock up even Solo. It's an opportunity for power users to accumulate wealth by taking advantage of opportunities that harness their advantage of knowledge and new tools and dApps to establish financial strategies. Instead of sitting back saying the XRP ledger is made for payments only and nothing that community can do, I swear some of the videos on YouTube lately have gotten worse and worse from an array of established influencers too. Something is needed to happen that jolts the community and sparks the interest and awareness from the community. Flip the switch people need to go through the process of realizing that it's going down a different path than they have been thinking about for the past few years. Like all other networks do, mechanism design that encourages user behavior to deploy XRP as liquidity by dangling fresh XRP like a carrot in front of a rabbit, like Vortex on Root network, but simpler, and also makes XRP rewards earned claimable in future dates that will draw a frenzy of interest and engagement from the community and institutions to create deep pools of liquidity on the XRP ledger, on the Ledger Decentralized Exchange, and even the AMM, combined with Ripple payments and DeFi dApps targeting retail. So when we really look at this, right, like there's so much demand here that a lot of people are just not aware of. I mean, if you go over to Uniswap, for an example, there's liquidity pools on Uniswap where you actually deposit LP tokens. You can earn percentage of trading fees and any fees accumulated during the process of anyone buying and selling the token, or even transferring it and swapping it. So when we really look at this, I mean, this is going to really shock the entire ecosystem, because what we are going to witness is an eruption of demand for these liquidity pool incentives. So what we are going to see is a lot of people getting incentivized by locking up XRP, or even just creating liquidity pools around specific tokens. So I'm very excited about this. And there's a lot of things to look here, right? Like, for example, the longer term strategic view of crypto probably resides instead in the idea that what users receive in return for providing liquidity is the acquisition of shares in a network that is developing. This idea is related to the wider concept of a platform economy. Digital platforms are essentially transforming what used to be the linear value chains between producers and consumers into technology-driven adaptable models with a wider product offering tailored to the client needs. McKinsey describes this new ecosystem as the integrated network economy. And also over here, there's a ton of great quotes here. I think everyone should pause real quick and read this, because this is exactly how DeFi gets its name. This is where DeFi truly becomes DeFi. This is going to be a game changer. And then also over here, we have decentralized finance, lending, and borrowing. We have another source of permanent demand for cryptocurrencies through the concept of the TVL, or total value of tokens, that is locked, TVL, total value locked, or TVL, at any point in time. And last but not least, we have a video from, like I said, Mickey B. Fresh. This is David Schwartz talking about the AMM.
Something near and dear to my heart, the automated market maker specification. I almost said automated money maker, which actually is kind of, it's actually pretty apropos, right? AMMs will harvest volatility for yield. Volatility will drive market makers, which the AMM makes a spread, right? It takes a movement in price to really drive that volume. And of course, volatility increases arbitrage or profits because the AMM gets more out of balance more, and the AMM gets a cut of those profits through the auction mechanism.
So this could really turn the volatility of a digital asset from a downside to an upside. Super excited about it.
Automated market makers on the XRP ledger could be a game changer, uniquely positioning it to leapfrog other DEXs. Liquidity providers will get better returns through the inherent execution advantages of the XRP ledger that I just mentioned, and a sort of secret sauce that will allow liquidity providers to get more of the profits normally lost to arbitrage, and it will be bolstered by incentive programs. Traders will get better pricing and better order execution due to integration with existing order books. They won't have to change anything they do. You'll be able to execute the same payment and trading transactions on the XRP ledger. You'll get more liquidity and better payment and trade execution.
And it'll be bolstered by incentive programs.
So the fact that the XRP ledger fees are lower is going to mean more of that money that would go to arbitragers stays with the people who are staking the pool. And that's what you want, because if people don't stake the pool, there's no liquidity. You want the stakers to reap the rewards of their staking so that there will be these deep pools of liquidity. And then with the mechanism that we're working on that will allow the pool to recapture much of the profits that the arbitrage makes, almost as if the pool were arbitraging against itself, we're hopeful that that will incentivize very, very deep pools of liquidity on the XRP ledger that will make movement between tokens very efficient. So that could be, I think that could be a game changer.
And here we have about the only reason to oppose the AMM amendment is if you don't want XRP Ledger to grow. That would be rational if you thought the XRP Ledger was currently too broken and couldn't handle it. I don't believe either of those things. Now, again, I bring this up because I feel as though a lot of people are trying to make excuses on why we shouldn't get this. Like I said, with David Schwartz, he's the CTO at Ripple. He already put out pros and cons of this. Again, as we look at the idea of losing money, yeah, you could. You could also lose tokens, but it's near impossible from what David Schwartz is saying here. He said it is supposed to be impossible for a particular invariant to be broken by the admittedly weird standard of that invariant. It is not supposed to be possible to lose. When you provide liquidity to an AMM depositing into the pools, you get liquidity tokens that are specific to the AMM whose pools you contributed to. So he's saying that it should be impossible. It doesn't mean that it is going to be. There could be, a bug or a flaw. There could be things like that. So we need to make sure that we are being aware of that and being careful. But I do think that this is a major game changer, just like David Schwartz is saying. He thinks that it is going to be a game changer. I believe it is as well. We already seen how it, erupted on Hedera, and it completely changed the way a lot of players are creating value. Even NFT players are creating value through it as well. So I think that this is a major opportunity, and we are getting so damn close. I think that the clawback is one that is extremely overlooked, considering the fact that, this is going to be a big thing that institutions like Franklin Templeton want and need in order to go live on some of these major ledgers, like even for an example, Stellar. And then of course the AMM. I mean, guys, we are very, very close on having this passed. We need about 6 more votes on this to fully have it passed. But guys, everything is falling into place, and I just want you guys to understand how big these amendments are. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, thanks for watching. This has been Nick. Peace out.